guys, it's Bree. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please subscribe, and if you are not, welcome back. And I'm very excited for you guys to be here. This video is going to be my mid-year wrap-up for my books, and I have read 18 books this year, which I don't know if that's a question, but now you know. I'm sorry if you guys can see my ring light. This bookcase has a door and it reflects, so I'm very excited to show you guys what I have read this year. Also answer these questions with you guys. I have 20 to 21 or so questions, and I'm very excited to answer these questions for you guys. So we are going to hop right in and answer these questions. So some of these books I also written from the library, and I don't have physical copies, so they will be up here in picture form, but I am going to try my best to get them up here for you guys, so you guys can at least see what books I'm talking about if I do not have them here. So best book of the year so far would definitely have to be Heated Rivalry. I just really enjoyed this. I read this at the beginning of the year, and I absolutely flew through this. It was so good. I also read Game Changer, which was also really good, so I feel like I'm probably going to say Heated Rivalry, but I know that's really cliche, but it was probably one of my favorite reads of the year, so definitely that one. The next question is worst book of the year so far. Oh my god. I'm going to just say this one just because it was literally probably the smallest book I read this year. It was just a little palette cleanser. I got it donated to me from my free little library, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cute, and I literally was leaving, and I just started randomly reading it in the car because I had nothing better to do. So I read this in the car, and yeah, I flew through it. Obviously it was only a couple pages. It was literally for children, but I flew through it. I don't have any more. I did put it in my free little library, and it was good for a children's book, but it was just the worst book because it was so short. And it was. Question is most disappointing book of the year. Okay, so I don't say this is super disappointing. I did enjoy it. It was really good, but it just took me the longest to read for some reason. I don't know. I just got really slumpy with it. But so I've been reading this middle grade series, and it's called the Berry Brook Middle School series. And I love the series so far. So I have read 2 of the 4, and I'm gonna read the 3rd one because I own it now. But it is Awkward and Brave, and then there's 2 other ones in this series. So I read Awkward, which was so good, and I enjoyed that one so much. But then I tried to read Brave, and for some reason this one just took longer. I'm not sure why, because I really loved the story about him, because you do get to see some of him in Awkward, but I feel like it just took so long to read, and I'm not sure why it did. So that's kind of what was disappointing to me. But the actual book wasn't disappointing, so I'm not sure what went on with that one, but I'm definitely gonna say that one because it took me the longest to read. So that's the one we're gonna go with for the most disappointing book of the year. Okay, next question is newest favorite author. Okay, so my favorite authors, if you don't know, are Jennifer Lynn Barnes, will always be my favorite author, and Colleen Hoover. I love her books as well. So I do say she's my favorite author because I do have every book she's ever wrote. Have I read them all? No, but I do have a lot of them. I'm pretty sure everyone. If not, then I don't know what I'm missing. But I read 2 Rachel Reed books, which is Game Changer and Heated Rivalry, and I really like her style of writing. I do really love her stories. They're really good, even though they were a TV show, and that's why everybody loved them and they were hyped because of that. I feel no, I love them because of the stories. Yes, the TV shows, I love that, but I also loved the stories, how they were written. They're very well written, even though they were time jumps back and forth a little bit, or really just different times, not really back and forth, but the jumps of the times. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the way that the books were written. Now, I think she's going to be one of my favorite authors. I will try to read more of her books. Obviously, I need to read the rest of the series, and then I want to read her other books as well. But another author that I found this year that I'm very excited to read more of her books, because this book kept me, I was really intrigued in it, is Kirsten White. I really hope that this is going to be a new favorite author as well. but I'm not gonna say it is because I'm not sure. I've only read one of her books. So okay, the next question is a book that made me laugh. I'm gonna say this one. It's called Sheets, and I loved this one. It's about like the little ghost and the girl that owns the laundromat, and I liked what the ghost did sometimes with his little like funny ghost things, but also the book was kind of sad but also really, really good. So I liked that. It was really good. And I did giggle quite a bit. It was cute. Yeah, so we're gonna go with that one. The next question is a book that made you cry. So instead of laughing, crying. The Outsiders, 100%. This book I sobbed so hard. This book was traumatizing in a good way, but traumatizing. Really good. One of my favorite books. But yeah, if you know, you know. If you've read this, then you already know. Another book that made me cry was Heartstoppers, because obviously this is volume 6. It's the last Heartstoppers volume ever, so I was bawling my eyes out like pretty much all the way through this. I bawled. I was sad. Also, it was really good. So like I would cry, then I'd be happy, then I'd cry, then I'd be happy, and like I would cry if I don't know. It was so good, but also very sad because I knew it was ending, but enjoyed till the end. So that is 2 books that made me cry, but definitely Heartstoppers was like so good that I was crying because I was happy, and then I was crying because I was sad, then I just, yeah. But The Outsiders, we all know. Okay, favorite fictional couple. Okay, I'm gonna give you a cliche one, obviously, because everybody loved them. I feel like Elia and Shane, I feel like everybody loved them, so this one is not like even one that should be ranked because everybody loved them. My whole phone theme is them. I'll just show you my front cover right now because I don't feel like getting into it, but like my whole phone theme is them, and obviously I loved them. But I also loved Nick and Charlie, of course. That's another one that everybody just really loves. Right, but I'm gonna give you one that's not so cliche. Victor and Hector in Bloom. I absolutely loved them as well. They were another one that I really loved. I loved their story. It was kind of almost like Nick and Charlie a little bit, but a little bit different. I've realized that I read a lot of MM romances and a lot of like lesbian romances this year with the graphic novels, because what I did is I read Heartstoppers and then I basically just went on a binger of books that people recommended me, like graphic novels that people recommended me that was similar to Heartstoppers. So I read a lot of LGBT stuff, which I love because I'm LGBT myself, but all of my couples that I read about this year were either MM or lesbian. So I really enjoyed that. And yeah, so a lot of my favorite couples this year were MM, and Ari and Hector were no exception. So Ari and Hector, Nick and Charlie, and Shane and Elia were like my favorite couples out of the year. Okay, the next question is books you're most excited to read for the second half of the year. And I have 3. Okay, so I'm very excited to read these 3. Now I will explain why I'm excited to read each one. I'm excited to read Project Hail Mary because I've heard so many good things. Also, I'm going to Kosai and I'm gonna try to vlog for you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna try, but I'm gonna read this. So I'm very excited. And then Every Summer After is another one. I watched the movie and I heard a lot of good things, and I've also heard that this book is way different than the movie, and I've never read Carly Fortune, so I'm excited. But also I just think that this is going to be a good read for the summer, so I hope I get to that soon. And then I want to finish this series. I'm not going to be finishing it because obviously she is releasing the new book that she's releasing, so this is my favorite series of all time. I will recommend this series to anyone. And I haven't read the last book because I am dreading like it being over, but since she's releasing a new one, I am going to finish the series hopefully. But this I'm very excited for it. And I'm sorry, Cassie. I'm sorry, Dean. I'm sorry, Michael, Leah, Salone. I'm sorry, you guys. I need to finish you. I promise I will. But yeah, this is like very anticipated. I think I have 2 books and then I'm gonna read this. So, very excited about that. But yeah, those are just some books that I'm excited for the end, or for the next like half of the Alright, so the next question is favorite quote from a book you've read this year. And I'm gonna have to say The Outsiders has like the most tabbed quotes in it. But also, I'm not gonna be able to read you all of the quotes, but I will read you maybe one. Let's see. Well, I could just do stay gold. That's like a common one. Stay gold, pony boy. Stay gold. Most common, right? But no, I really liked this other quote. I don't know if I'm going to read it though, because I don't think a lot of people has. If you haven't read, I don't want to like spoil it, but it is the Dally scene when Dally, unfortunately, we all know and love, but it is Dally raised a gun. I thought you blasted fool. They don't know you're only bluffing. It's that whole scene, I love that scene in the book. Very well written. I don't love the scene, but the way it's written, very well written. It's the same in the book as in the show, I will say. And it's my favorite scene. Very well written. So yeah, there's also Johnny's letter to Ponyboy is another one that's just very, very gut-wrenching, but very good. Let's see what else I have tabbed. I have so many. Way you could tell the other guys were human. I have so many things tabbed in this. Maybe a friend of yours wouldn't have. It's in denial. Yeah, I have so many quotes in this. Like, oh, this one too. The poem, the nature's green is gold. So good. But yeah, there's so many quotes in this book that I think that everybody would love. Okay, the next question is goal update. How are you doing on your reading challenge? My reading challenge is to get to 20 books this year, and I have read 18. So I'm doing really good. I just have to read 2 more, which I already have pretty much. I already know what I'm doing there, so I already know which ones I'm reading. I'm going to try to finish 2 books that I've been in the middle of for a while, which is Normal People and the last of the Summer Rich and Pretty books. I've just been putting them both off. Like, I started them, and I just been putting them off, finishing them. So I need to finish those. So we're going to finish those. Okay, next question is, what book kept you up all night reading? Okay, this book here. I read this all in one day. So good. I did love it. Now, this book did keep me up pretty much. And I think I started this, and I don't remember when I started it, but I think I didn't finish it till like 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was so good. I wouldn't say it kept me up all night, but I just couldn't put it down. And I remember it being super late, like 2 or 3 in the morning when I did put it down and like finished it. It was so good. I really did enjoy it. This book, if you haven't read it, I would definitely recommend at least giving it a try. I did see a lot of mixed reviews on it, but I enjoyed it, so maybe you will too. It was good. If you like supernatural horror, I enjoyed it, and it did keep me up reading into the late nights. Alright, the next question is, what is the best graphic novel you have read? It's this book, of course, the Heartstoppers one, but I'm also going to shout out this other book real quick that I really did enjoy. I think I read it in the doing booky things for a week, or whatever I called that video, where I did things for a week, like book things for a week, and I was in the car waiting on my dad and my little brother at Menards, and I loved this book so much, and it's very colorful. I love it for that. It's very colorful, but I also love it for the story, because even though the book is so colorful, the story has so much depth, and there is some triggers in there as well. But this is called A Map to the Sun, and even though it is really colorful, there was so much depth in this book that I just really enjoyed. But yeah, so this book right here is one that I don't really hear talked about much, but was recommended to me when I was looking for books that was like heart stoppers, and I seen it on there and I just was like, I wonder if my library has that. So they did, and I really did enjoy it. Like, the book is really good and it's very colorful, but definitely doesn't have some depth. And since I don't hear about it a lot, I want to shout it out. But yeah, so A Map to the Sun was probably another really good graphic novel that I really enjoyed. What book had the most shocking plot twist? Okay, I didn't read a lot of horror or like thriller, but I read two. I read Hide, and then I read Company with Apples, which is psychological thriller, I believe. This book, go into it blind, but it gave me so much in a short book. I think it's like 100 and some pages, 130? No, 101. 101 pages. Unless you read The Pink Lady at the end, which it equals out to 103 pages for this whole entire book. Now, let me tell you, when I say go into this blind, I mean it, because if you like Don't Worry Darling, you might like this. I literally looked up books like Don't Worry Darling, and this one came up, and I really enjoyed it. I did not think I was going to enjoy this as much as I did. And okay, I hope I don't spoil this, because you do need to really go in blind. I was about like 70 something to 90 something pages, something around there. I don't exactly remember. I kind of was starting to be like, oh my god, something is happening. Like, I knew something was happening throughout the whole book, but once she got to a certain point, and she was talking to certain things, like talking to certain people, and was like stuff like that, I really was like, what? And then when she finally, like, I don't know, when everything finally clicked and the plot twist really came in, I was in disbelief and awe. Okay, I don't want to spoil this, so if you don't want to know anything, just skip, and I'll put the book back up when there's no more spoiler. But basically, what happened to her, I could not. What is going on with her and with the people before her was crazy. Like, the girls before her and what they were made from and what this was made, just disbelief, honestly, disbelief. But yeah, I could not believe this. Could not. Like, I literally could not. And I definitely enjoyed it. It was so good. Definitely like Don't Worry Darling vibes. So if you do like that, you'll like this. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking this out. Check this out, guys, if you want something like Don't Worry Darling. So good. The plot twist was plot twisting. Okay, definitely the ending was like, share with others. The Outsiders, obviously I would share that with everyone, but a lot of people that I know already read that. So the book that I would share with others is definitely this book. Even though I just talked about this being the most plot twist, I would share this book with everyone. I feel like people really need to read it, and since it's so short, I feel like you can get through it and read it, even though it might be a little bit out of your comfort zone. I just feel like you should read it and really digest the book. It's so good. It's really easy to read. It's fast. If you're just like wanting to read a quick book, this would be it. I feel like I enjoyed it. I don't know if everybody will, but I feel like everybody should at least give it a shot. So this is a book that I would definitely recommend to. Okay, the next question is most anticipated reads of the year, or like books that are coming out, I guess. So I'm gonna put the pictures here. So I'm very excited for, I think it's called Dangerous Impulse, which is the next book of The Naturals, which is my favorite series of all time, and that comes out November 3rd. So I'm very excited for that. Another book that I'm very excited for, which I still need to finish the series, is the Rebecca Yarros, which I think is the Empress. I don't remember. It's like Fourth Wing and all of them. Thrashing Day, like, it's thin, I believe. I'm excited for that. It comes out the 29th. I'm also very, very excited for this book, but I already had pre-ordered it. So it is Matt's book. It is What Happened Yesterday. It's about Matt Sturniolo and the triplets. I have been a fan of them for quite some time now, and I am so excited to hear his take on everything, which I'm pretty sure he's going to talk about his anxiety, and I'm very excited about that because me being a person that has anxiety really relates to Matt. I relate to Matt. Matt is my favorite one out of all of them. I relate to him so much on so many different levels. Actually, I relate to all of them somehow. I relate to like Matt because of his anxiety and all of this. I relate to Chris because I'm 100% honest. Chris has ADHD and he is a wild one, and I relate to that. And then I relate to Nick about like just his like coming out and LGBT and all of that. So I relate to that as well. That's why I think that I love all of them, but my favorite is Matt, and I really, really relate to Matt. And so I did get his book. I pre-ordered it on the 30th. It's the 1st right now because it's 1:43 in the morning. But I am so excited. It is called What Happened Yesterday. Very excited about it. I think I'm going to probably cry when I read this, but I'm very excited about it, and I did already pre-order that one, so that is one I'm excited about. But those are like this year, I believe, is the most anticipated reads. I do have like other ones that I want to get, but they're not like, I'm not anticipated to read them. These ones are the ones I'm most anticipated to read, so that's those, and I'm very excited and very, very, very excited about a lot of them, and I can't wait to read them, especially the one from the Natural series. Like I blew a gasket in my brain when she said she was like coming out with another book. I'm telling you, I could not have been happier. And then also Matt, of course, like that I'm excited about too. Okay, so the most hyped up book you've read this year. We're all gonna say this book. It was sold out everywhere. It was so hard to get. It was this and that and this, which I don't know why people were complaining it was so hard to get. It was sold out for a while, but I literally ordered them on Amazon and I got them all in like 2.5 weeks. I had the whole set by then. So it was very hyped up. Everybody was like selling it for thousands of dollars. I feel like it wasn't thousands, but like I feel like everybody was selling that book for like $40 some, and like the whole series for like $300. It was quite crazy. So I feel like that is probably the most hyped book I read this year, but yeah, I don't know why, because I got them pretty easily. Next question is best audiobook you listened to this year. Okay, I'm not done with this one yet, but so far this is my favorite formatting. So yeah, I'm not done with it. I did read every book I read this year besides the graphic novels on audiobook because I am dyslexic and it's really hard for me to pay attention and not reread the same sentence like over and over and over if someone is not like helping me read or I'm not listening to it. So I will like put it in an immersive read, so I'll be like reading the book and the audio, and that's like the only way that I can read, period. Like I love it. But probably the best book I read this year on audio that I'm reading just audio, and I'm not done with it yet, but it's Listen for the Lie by Amy Taranto. I'll put it up right here. I'm listening to this and I'm not like quite done with it yet, but I love where it's like the story and then it goes ding and then it's the podcast. Like that is so cool to me. I'm really enjoying it, and I listen to this when I'm like doing crafts or I'm like doing something, and it is one of my favorite audiobooks that I've started this year. Oh, I've also started another audiobook for when I'm cleaning, so I have like 2 separate audiobooks. But it's The Wings of Starlight. So I only listen to that like when I'm cleaning, and I haven't really listened to much of it honestly because I just haven't really listened to much. I like was doing the dishes one day and was trying to find like a fairy-ish audiobook or like something, and it's really good so far of what I've like listened to, but I kind of want the book. I want to follow along with the book because I think I'll enjoy it more if I have the book. So I'm actually waiting to finish that until I have the book. But I'm very, 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 very loving what I've read so far. So we'll see. But yeah, like I said, Listen for the Lie I've loved. And then the other book that I said is Wings of Starlight by Disney, which I love Disney books. So maybe I'll enjoy it if I just have the book. I feel like that'd be better. The next question is like a book that you wish people were talking about more. I just wish people were talking about graphic novels in general more. I mean, I know everybody's talking about like Heartstoppers because like that just came out and like the end of it and everything. But I wish we were talking just more about general graphic novels because I love them and I wish more people were talking about them. But I read A Girl from the Sea and I wish more people would enjoy this graphic novel like I did. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Also, Rainbow is another graphic novel that I enjoyed. I'm going to try to get the second one. And I just enjoyed them. I enjoy graphic novels. So, literally, can we just start talking about graphic novels more? Because I need that. I need people to start talking about graphic novels more. The next question is a book that surprised you in a good way. This one. Now, the only reason this surprised me is because I didn't think it was going to be like one of my favorite books that I've read. Because I'm not really into like the classic-y books that like people got to read in school and all of that. I feel like I'm never really into them. Like, I love Holes and I love Among the Hidden. Those are like two books that I read in school that I did enjoy. But I'm not going to say that those are one of my favorite books that I've ever read. This was probably one of the favorite books that I've ever read. Also, the movie was like phew, in my brain. Yeah, I did bedazzle this, by the way. I keep showing it. I don't think I explained that it was bedazzled, but I bedazzled like this and this. So I really, really enjoyed this book. Like, one of my favorite books, like I said. And I don't know, it surprised me that I liked it so much because it is like a classic-y book. And I know it's like, what? It was published quite some time ago. Yeah, it was published in 1967. And then like republished a bunch of times. But I just did not think that I would like it. It is like a classic-y book. And I'm not really into the classic-y books. But now that I've read this one, I do want to read more classic-y books. Like I know I got The Scarlet's Letter in here and Great Gatsby, and I want to read those, so I'm very excited about those because I just didn't think I was gonna like classic-y books, so I like deterred away from them. And I actually did not read this book for the longest time, and I just bought it on a whim. I think I bought it for like $5 and was like, okay, maybe I'll pick it up. And then I watched the movie. Actually, I read like 2 chapters and then I watched the movie and then I was like, yeah, I'm picking this up. Like, we're doing this. And I was so excited that I actually found a book that I really enjoyed that was a classic. So, I enjoyed it. Okay, the next question is rapid fire all the books you read this year. I'm very excited for this. But like I said, I don't own all the books, so I will put what I don't own, and we're gonna go through those first, and then I'll go through the ones that I do own. So we're gonna start with this like middle grade book. It's the Crab Apple Trouble. I seen this at the library, and I was just like, this looks so good. So I picked it up, and I actually forgot that I read it until recently. I went back to the library and was like, I read that. Why is it not on my list? So I put it on my list. So I read that, and it was really good, super cute, loved it. And then Bloom, which obviously is another book I loved because I loved Victor and Hector, loved. And then I did read this book called Hey Jack, The Circus Lesson. It was really good. It was just really short. And it was also just a palate cleanser kids book that I took with me. And then I read Girl to the Sea, the graphic novel, another book that was so good. And then I read Brave, and I read Click. I also read Awkward, Sheets, A Map to the Sun, and Rainbow. So those are all the books that I read that I don't have. And now for books that I read that I do have. So I read The Outsiders. I read Comfort Me with Apples. I read Hide. I read Heartstoppers. I read Act, I read Camp, which is from the same series as Click, and then I read Game Changer and Heated Rivalry. And that is all the books that I read this year. That's all 18 that I read this year, I believe. If I'm missing any, I'll just try to put them right here. I don't think I am, but you never know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little fun mid-year wrap-up with my little books. And I'll try to do an end of the year wrap-up since I have all of the books written down, and I'm trying to keep them all written down so I know what I read this year. So yeah, I'm very excited. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys have read some of these books. If you guys have, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys have read. And also, if you do want to follow me on any of my platforms, I'm going to try to link them down below. I keep forgetting, but I'm going to try to link them down below. So I hope you guys enjoy. Bye!